True life, I don't know how to swim. Hello friends, my name is Marinas and I'm doing this a little bit late, but we've got an oddly specific top 5 Wednesday to do. That is characters you wish you could drown. Like specifically drown. What you'll actually find below is a list of my least favorite characters, though I am limiting it to book or based on book characters. While Spike does show up in graphic novels, I'm not going to count that. So basically you're not going to get to hear about my huge and epic problems with Spike, so I'm sorry, or maybe you're welcome. Also, I've limited this list to non-villains. There are plenty of villains that I hate and that I would absolutely love to get out of the picture, but that's kind of their point. So if you're wondering what the 5 villains are that I would drown first, those are Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter, Joffrey Baratheon and Ramsay Bolton from A Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones, Jasmine from Angel the series, and the Mayor from the Chaos Walking trilogy. So that said, here are the 5 non-villain characters that I dislike the most and would totally drown if that weren't weird and oddly violent. Here's a recent one. Number 5 is Rhys from A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's been quite a while since I disliked a character this passionately. I've definitely disliked characters this year like Feyre or Juliet from Shatter Me, but not anything near enough to put him on an automatic drowning list. Rhys though? As I was reading about him, I pretty much felt my skin crawling. And that was okay because he was a bad guy. Things really took a turn for the pukey for me, however, by the end, when there's this subtle shift in how our main character views him. She became more sympathetic to his plight and more understanding of all the ways that he treated her grossly, and in that way the story starts to frame Rhys as sympathetic and complex. I'm talking about that thing that authors sometimes do where they try to convince you that their male characters are hot and bad boys and not supremely disgusting. It's okay. He's hurt and he has a past, and the fact that he force-fed you wine and put his tongue on your face when you didn't want it there is totally okay. Nope. Deep end with no floaties for him. Number 4 is Jessica Wakefield from the Sweet Valley High series. I know that's a little bit random, but I am known to occasionally recap that series for the Snark Squad. Holy crap, how did we not realize that when we were reading this as children that Jessica is basically a psycho. Elizabeth, her twin sister, is no saint. She's a doormat and overly involved in things, but Jessica is honestly seriously deranged. One of my favorite things that has ever happened on Snark Squad is when we recap the Evil Twin miniseries for Christmas. That was superb literature, you guys. The series starts with Jessica roofing her own sister at a school dance, and then getting really angry at Elizabeth when she gets into an accident that kills Jess's boyfriend, and also an evil doppelganger. Anyways, the point is that Jessica is an awful human being and no children should be exposed to her terror. She's being drowned for the good of humanity. Number 3 is Ezra Fitz from Pretty Little Liars. I've only seen the TV show, never read the books, but my goodness do I despise that character. I don't want to get spoilery about who or what he is, but I just have huge issues with student-teacher relationships, especially when they are pitched in a certain way. If you follow Pretty Little Liars or ABC Family on any social media, you will see that they occasionally pitch this couple as like a core couple, as a couple to be shipped, and they have a huge audience of teens and tweens. More than any age difference, it is an absolute abuse of power, and it makes me uncomfortable to watch. And on top of that, I think that Ezra is an immature bastard and emotionally manipulative. He can walk the plank. Number 2 and number 1 should be no surprise. They are Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey. I don't talk too much about my dislike for Anna because it's tricky. It's clear that she's for sure an abuse victim and she's stuck in this manipulative cycle that we can't blame her for. However, even apart from that, Anna Steele is a terrible character. She's petty, hateful. She spends the entire series murmuring and whispering and sputtering and stuttering. She's illogical and nonsensical. She's self-absorbed and a terrible friend. She's spineless, and damn her inner goddess and subconscious and all of that noise. Number 1, however, is definitely Christian Grey. He's the most hateful character ever created, especially because he's pitched as a hero. He's the love interest and there is no redemption arc for him. He starts bad, ends up worse, and one of the very last things we hear from him is in the epilogue when he basically says that his fetus already enjoys having sex, presumably with him. He's an abusive boyfriend through and through. He stalks, he manipulates, he cuts Anna off from her friends and her family, he emotionally and physically abuses her, he invades her space and her privacy, he stalks her, he's stiff, he's rude, he's mean. He's basically everything you don't want in a character. I've seen some early reviews of Grey, and there are some people out there who are actually shocked about how this book makes him look like a terrible boyfriend. Christian Grey came off as a manipulative boyfriend in chapter 2 when he stalked Anna all the way to her place of employment in another city and made thinly veiled sex jokes while purchasing the most murdery items you could think of. I'm sorry for whoever is noticing that they enjoyed a book about abuse thinly veiled as erotica, but some of us have been saying that all along. So there you have it, a list of characters to pretend violently dispose of. I'm really looking forward to making a few more videos on reviews of things and talking about books, but I actually have to finish a book before I can do that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys soon. And on top of that, I think that Ezra is an immature bastard and emotionally manipulative.